What's up guys, this is Frenzy. Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with SilkHD, castle level 16, so I will be using my knight, and we will jump into it here. Alright, so we have some skeleton warriors, and it looks like a hunger bot to pull you into them, and then a couple archers. It's not too bad. Let me just look at the room that they're in. I still don't really like skeleton warriors. I don't think they do like enough damage. I mean, you put in like 8 supply there, and I feel like almost a Cyclops would do the same work. But then again, you kind of led with those, and they had their armor, so if they're working good for you, I'd say okay, but personally, I haven't been able to make use of them. They seem kind of overshadowed by other units. This Robo-Shieldatron being on his AoE, I don't think it's as good as if he was like defending the Defendatron or something like that. But I mean, this is kind of just a time waster, but I think it would be better if maybe you had it on the, like, you know, other thing. Although, unless the other guy was doing that, I don't know. It's probably fine. I'm a little over-leveled, so you know, I'm like one-shotting these guys, so I don't know how much of a time waster it's really doing for you. Alright, so the same basic thing here, and of course I get an epic. Is it an epic or a legendary? I don't know, but yeah, it's not going to be a high enough level to make use of. It's kind of sad. So yeah, again with the skeleton warriors, I mean, if they're working for you, great. If not, you can switch them out for like a Cyclops if you have enough supply to like take them out and add in a Cyclops. Personally, I haven't had any luck with them. Alright, he's on heal, so this is a pretty good time-wasting room. You kind of have the Defendatron defending the Bone Puppeteer, who's also healing. I mean, it's even kind of difficult for me to get through it, and I'm pretty over-leveled. So yeah, that's a pretty good room for time-wasting purposes. You also have the possibility of throwing you, I guess, over into this guy. And it looks like you have another pull over here. Oh, and of course, I let him get... Alright, never mind, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I was afraid that he got, you know, frenzied, and he's gonna own my face. Alright, and does this throw you into the next group? Yeah, so you have a pretty big chain pull here. The same problem applies with, you know, this chain pull as it does with every other chain pull. Whereas if you miss the first pull, the rest of your area in here gets much easier, and it'll, you know, people will go through these 3 groups in maybe 30 seconds, wherein it should take them, you know, 45 to a minute. Then again, you have a lot of time wasters on top of that, so it's probably okay. A double heal here, just fine. I'm almost wondering what a boss room would like feel like if you just had a ton of those guys healing and like 1 or 2 Robo-Shieldatrons on like their AoE ability or something. Not Robo-Shieldatrons, but Defendatrons. Even Robo-Shieldatrons, but anything that like you can't one-shot, if you could like heal it back to full constantly, like would you ever be able to beat a dungeon like that? I don't know. Even like a Scorpio with just mass Bone Puppeteers on heal. Although you'd have to have them defended somehow, so probably wouldn't work as well as I'm thinking it would. Alright, so back to this dungeon. The slow trap placement is okay. Does this guy actually do anything? He might pull through this. No, I don't think there should be anything over here. Alright, and then I get pulled into this, which pulls me into this. And this is a pretty good... Yeah, this is a pretty nice like setup that you have. It should work reasonably well for you. I'm sure you get a lot of your kills right here. I would say maybe you only need like one or the other, a Defendatron or a Robo-Shieldatron. I think 2 is kind of defeating the purpose of this area. Because the purpose of this is to kill them, right? So you don't want so many units that aren't doing any DPS. So I think one or the other, just to make sure this Feet Pommler doesn't die, might be better. Unless, of course, you do like the double combo to, you know, keep it healed. But that's more of a time waster than what you have set up here, which is to kill the person. So I think you could probably remove one of those and add in some more DPS units. You know, another Scorpio, or maybe a Mega Mutton. I'm not sure if you have Mega Mutton yet. I think you're too low level. But yeah, something like that. But all in all, it's not too bad. And we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Okay, and for number 2 we have BejeAlexromaniac. Castle level 15. So again, on my knight, this looks like some sort of maybe a Stairmaster pull. But it doesn't look like anything's actually getting pulled by this. I'm not sure if that was supposed to pull these guys, or if you had it purposely set up like this. But I think it would probably be better if you had it set up to pull both of these guys. I almost feel like, although you don't have level 4 Hunger Bots, but I almost feel like the archers are kind of a waste, because I'm just going to pull back around this corner, like, more times than not, and these archers aren't going to really get their shots off. I would say, like, if you had a Hunger Bot here and you could pull me to here and then the archers get their shots off. But even saying that, yeah, I don't know. I think you could... I don't know. Maybe, actually, no, never mind. If you can have me... Like, maybe the Cyclops could be closer to the edge so that I can't see up here. Although I don't think that would ever be the case. Yeah, I can see up here really, really easily. So the vision is kind of annoying, but if you had these 2 archers here, so that they would shoot down this tunnel if I were to aggro something and then pull back around this corner, the archers could shoot me down this tunnel. I feel like maybe you could, like, place it a little bit better. Maybe even, like, over in here or something like that, so they still have the angle that goes down that tunnel. I think that could be better for you. Alright, so I've seen... Well, I haven't seen this before, but I've seen, like, people in general try to use this. You know, it's not going to work on higher level people when they start to get good AoEs and stuff, but even at your level, it's probably starting to not work for you, to be honest. So I'd be a little cautious about, like, using that for too long, because, like, people start to get their AoEs up, and those type of things don't ever work. But early levels, they do work pretty well. Alright, fire traps. The three Cyclops is fine. I think that should give people a reasonable amount of trouble. Again, with 3 Cyclops, I think it's fine. They're tanky enough units where you can leave them by themselves, although I think you had 3 and no spotter. I would prefer to have, like, a Snotter up just to spot for them, so that that's the first thing that gets hit and not your Cyclops. Just makes them last a little bit longer. And you should have the supply anyway, if you use full 20 groups. Alright, I'm not sure if that pulled through the wall. I feel like it should have, so I'm going to stand here for a second just to see. Alright, well, it looks like maybe not. So again, kind of with no spotter, I can kind of target whatever I feel like. The same way with an archer, they could just volley this area and they wouldn't have to worry about whatever's coming. But like if you had a Snotter or something that was spotting up in here somewhere so that you can't see this group, it would work out better for you. Again with that one, it's the same like kind of issue in all of these setups. You don't really have anything spotting for it, so I get to target and do whatever I feel like. You know, I can see everything and stuff like that. And also now your dungeon's starting to go upwards, so if I was building this dungeon, I would do the same thing as you. However, I would start to make it go down this way instead of up, because that denies more vision than how you have it set up now. And also like the spotters, I would be adding those as well. Same thing kind of with this one, like, you can see this now in Archer specifically. If I was playing my Archer right now, I could volley in the middle of here, all of these guys would die and they wouldn't do a single piece of damage to me. Whereas with my Knight, I'm probably going to have to, like, go and pull back around this, and I'm still not going to really take any damage. Like, hardly anything. Kind of like that. So you want to be spotting for things a little bit better. Maybe you can position these a bit better, like back in here. I don't know. There might be something that you can do to still force the shots, because I do have to walk pretty far. So if you can maybe get me up into this area and have your archers in these areas, maybe when I, you know, throw my lashing thing, I won't get back around the corner in time. Alright, so a Jimbo, and I can see this trap down here. I don't think that's necessarily your fault, I think it's just the room. Because, like, preferably it would be down here. You also might not have level 4 Hunger Bots yet, which would be another reason. Yeah, you only have level 3. If you had level 4, you could put it down in here somewhere. Actually, I think you might still be able to do that, I don't know. If I was you, I would do a little bit of testing on your own, because I can't quite tell it from here. It's kind of hard in this mode, but in defense mode, when you zoom in, you kind of get a better angle where you can see down hallways. And if you could move this springboard trap down here and still have the same effect and have it down here, because if you'll notice, if I'm standing in this room right here, if that springboard trap was just slightly down towards the south, I wouldn't see it as I'm entering this room. So that's kind of the idea that you want, because you don't want people to see what's coming. So if you can move that down like 1 or 2 squares, it would be really good, and still hit the hook every time. That's something you'll have to test. Alright, and then I'll kill the archer first. Oh, a lot of archers, my god, this might hurt. This is a lot more difficult for a knight than for an archer. If I was an archer, I wouldn't have any trouble with this. That is if archers have volley at your level. I think they do, though. Level 16 they should, for sure. 100%. But yeah, it's not too bad. I would say, you know, what I said about the spotting and what I said about your dungeon starting to go up, if you can turn that and make it start going down, and also if you can move that springboard trap just down slightly, it would probably work out better for you there. All in all, it wasn't too bad though. And yeah, we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have Zombiesbum again. His castle level is 21, so I'll be using my archer for this. We'll just jump into it. I have actually played through his castle pretty recently, so I kind of know what to expect, but my memory is pretty terrible when it comes to doing these castles, so... Alright, I feel like this has to be pulling something else, but I don't see it. Looks like it's just a really, really long pull. Alright, I do remember this though. These mega muttons. Alright, so what I would say about this is, like, I remember having trouble with this combo before later in your dungeon, and I think the reasoning was because I couldn't pull back far enough, where I had to fight him in like kind of a closed spot. I realize this is kind of the same thing because you have this spike trap there, but if you could maybe get this group to aggro a little bit later so that I don't pull all the way back, maybe it would be better, because you're not getting any heals off. I don't know what you can do to fix that, but that's kind of the main problem with this specific group compared to the other group that I had trouble with before. Alright, and then the Vamps. Well, like I've said before, I'm kind of indifferent with Vamps. I don't think they're that good. I mean, they're level 22 and they're only doing 100 damage to me for 3 supply. That almost feels like it's, you know, a Snotter or something. Like 1 supply. Like, it's reasonably close to the same damage. I'm gonna try going down this way first. Alright, this is the right way. Looks like I might have one-shot that Scorpio, which is pretty good for me. Alright, then the archers, which I'm just going to kite through that volley. I do like archers in this circumstance just because you're running so far down a corridor that there's not really any places that I could... Like, the only place that I could dodge those archer shots would be to go on that spike trap. That's the only way that I could dodge them. So I like that circumstance right there that you put me in, basically. This is kind of a good placement if there was something that was, like, to fight here, but I'm not really going to be fighting anything here unless I get pulled into it. So I guess that's the purpose for that. I'm not sure what kind of Cyclops you use. I don't know if you use any throughout your dungeon, but I would say, like, another opportunity that you could have here is to have a charging Cyclops to push me back into this silence, so you have, like, the possibility of a hook and the possibility of me getting charged back into it. It's just something you could think about. Maybe even changing, like, I know you were talking about you didn't really like Pete Poundmore. You could have this one Pete Poundmore as a charger and pushing me back into it, and it might work out better for you, who knows. But charging Pete Poundmores generally are pretty much worthless compared to the counterparts, so... Alright, looks like I must have killed the Scorpio. I was kind of waiting for the hook, but it looks like he might have died. So I like this, it's fine. I aggro it when I'm already down to there. I would say, if you could, possibly move the aggro a little bit back, so that I'm already past the trap, and then the Scorpio tries to hit me back over into it. I think that could work better. Other than that, I don't think there's much you need to tweak about it. The archers are like, if I do get back behind over into this area, the archers are really never going to hit. That's the only thing I have to say about that. Alright, let's see what this is. Okay, pushing me back. And a double pull over here. And this is a dead end, because of course I can't skip anything, which is good. I'm trying to, like, figure out if I can abuse this somehow. And I feel like you probably have it pretty set up pretty well. Like, I'd like to hit this Bone Puppeteer if I could, but that's going to hit the Mega Mutton, which is going to start his charge. But yeah, the biggest weakness to this, what I'm noticing, is that he doesn't start healing until after, like, I can pull back. You know, if I start to pull back, I can kill the Mega Mutton before he gets any heals off whatsoever. Whereas if he were to get a heal off, it would take me an extra hit. That being said, I have really good gear, so other people will struggle with that more often than I do. Alright, and I know this is going to be your crazy pull, so I'll wait for this. Okay, so you do have, like, the same basic setup that I've kind of changed this room into. I used to have vulnerable minions, and then I noticed that you could use 3 groups and have no vulnerable minions. Thanks to Sir Hiss's castle, I learned that. Although yours is a little bit different, it's not, you know, terribly different, I don't think. Your vulnerable, like, your minions are back here, whereas there is an opportunity for you to have, like, a Snotter kind of over in here, and you can pull back through to this area. And then your third group can be down in here as well. Like, instead of here, they can be back over in, like, in this area here. And nothing would be skippable in that circumstance either. But yours is fine. I think it's just a matter of opinion, how you set it up. Although I don't think... I must have waited too long, because I don't think I see your archers. Which should be, like, right here. Yep. Alright, so it looks like I might have waited too long for those to actually come around. So, I mean, that placement for archers, you can just volley over it. I don't think there's much you can do about it, just because I know, like, how you want it set up. This is the area where I had a trouble. Right, so you can see why I had trouble here is because I don't have anywhere to go. And for some reason, I just don't do any damage to the ones like this. It's so weird. I should just target this guy down for sure. This one gave me problems the last time I did your castle as well. Like this fight wasn't as bad as the last, but still. This tight area with him, it's pretty difficult. Alright, and then for the boss room, we have, because I don't remember. Oh, yeah, the Mitten boss room. Poor Mittens. He gets so much hate. That's strange. I guess he always had the hunger bots with that. For some reason I thought the Scorpios were the ones with the pin strike, but I guess not. So yeah, the boss room is fine. You have him kind of protecting everything from AoE. The Mittens, I don't know about the Mittens. Like, I know you kind of want Scorpio, I guess. Frenzied or Howled or whatever you call it. But I don't know, it's 10 supply just for a little bit of increased attack speed. You could almost get a whole nother Scorpio for that, so I kind of still don't know about the Mittens. I feel like he's probably still wasted. And like, the 10 supply could be used for better things. But with that, that's going to be the third one for today. So I'll end the video here. If you guys enjoy what I do, please subscribe, leave a like. If you want to be a part of Viewer Castles, you can leave a comment in the videos, comment on my castle, or email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com, and I will get to it as quickly as possible. Also, after you give me your request, after probably about a day, I'll be updating a spreadsheet that I made that everyone can access on the internet. It's in the description of this video, so if you've sent a request and you want to know, your name should be on there. If your name isn't on there after like 3 days, let me know again somewhere, so that I, don't forget about you, because I have forgotten about like 1 or 2 people, but for the most part I've gotten to everybody. So thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.